played, for the role or part that you have played in helping all of this come into fruition. As we continue to move forward, there's going to be more things, more incentives, more fun and interactive ways that not only those of us that are already in the community, but new people coming on board can enjoy the experience, that which is MoveQuest. So once again, for those of you that are, dedicated members of the MoveQuest community, thank you. For those of you that have just gotten started or that are being introduced to the MoveQuest opportunity in recent history, or if this is your very first time coming, seeing, and hearing to get more information about what MoveQuest is all about and the things that we're doing with this tremendous platform. We welcome you, and we hope that we can shed some light, share some information, and make things that much more clear for you if you haven't already made a decision to be able to make a decision. So Tuesday nights, we typically have the privilege of bringing on the creator of the MoveQuest platform, Miss Lynette Orton, to actually share information about where we are, what's going on behind the scenes, things to be able to expect, and answer a few questions from the community about about the project in and of itself. So without further ado, again, any information that you hear on this call tonight is not intended to be financial advice in any shape, form, or fashion. None of us are financial advisors, nor are we pretending to be any. What we're trying to do is share information about a platform, an ecosystem, where we're actually looking at to be a lifestyle platform that we have grown excited about, and we've delved ourselves into not only physically, but financially as well, because we see the upside potential from those angles. And we just want to share the information as we have it with you, the general public and community, and anybody else that's willing to actually come and listen. So without further ado, I want to bring to the floor Miss Lynette Orton, who is the creator of this tremendous program and platform. Miss Orton, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully
Great.
you're doing well. This week has gone by so fast. We went from Arizona to Michigan, and everything just seems like I can't even catch up with myself right now, but it's starting to settle down. All right, so this is actually going to be kind of a brief update. I don't have tons to really go over tonight, but I am going to tell you where we're at for the rest of the month. So we've been working, I can't say I have not been working on them. Herschel, Brandon, I don't know who else is working on them. Ali, Kwame, Leslie, a lot of you have been working on these, so I don't want to leave people out. But the training videos, we've been putting them up on the MoveQuest YouTube channel, but we're going to be adding them to the actual website. And so you'll start seeing them tomorrow. The training videos will be going live on the website. So this is hopefully going to make the onboarding a lot easier for people. So if they get stuck or they have questions, they'll just be able to go to help, search what they're looking for. It'll bring up the video that they need, or, the facts page. We also completed the glossary, or definitions, I guess. I've been working on that for the last couple of weeks because I want to make sure that we cover every single part of crypto that a person could have a question on, may not understand. I think there's like 118 different terms that are relevant to crypto and also to MoveQuest. So those will be there too. So some people don't understand, what is a hot wallet? What's a cold wallet? What's the public key, a private key? Just a whole lot of different things, even the words that we use, for our project. What is the Hatchery, the asset wallet, the in-app wallet? What are in-app fees? What are blockchain fees? What's the evolution? What's the Hatchery? They'll be able to go through and they'll be able to get a really quick explanation for all of that stuff. The second thing, we are actively working on the app migration to MoveQuest. So our goal is to have that done by the end of the month. On our end, we're pretty much finished with that part. I mean, there's a few little pieces that have to be done, and then it'll be up to however long it takes the app stores to get it approved from the Get Fit mining to MoveQuest. And so then people will just go right to the Apple store, they'll go right to the Android store and download the app. There won't be a need for test flight. So we're working to have that done here in the next couple of weeks. That's going to make it a lot easier. It'll be more streamlined as far as the interface goes. And I think too, it'll remove some confusion as to what is Get Fit Mining and what is MoveQuest. Although we don't want to forget Get Fit Mining because that's where we all got started at for the most part. This MoveQuest makes more sense. We're also working on the AI-powered customer support. That'll be coming soon as well. That is going to make it easy for people who need that 24/7 support. So they can go and they can ask questions, and it's currently being trained. Dell's working on that right now. So that will be available too. I think it's pretty close to being done. The coin market cap application, I'll keep you guys posted on the process there and when it's going to be, when they'll have our token validated. I don't expect it to take long. Some people tell me that CoinMarketCap can take a long time, but we've already initiated that application. We had just wanted to put it on hold because we weren't quite ready with all the MoveQuests. So I'm hoping that that will be done here. I'm hoping in a few days, but most, I guess it could be a week or two, hopefully not that long. If it is, we can pay to expedite that process. I'm just trying to avoid it because it's not real cheap. Then we're also going to be launching our boosts and your miner power increases. So we'll explain to you how all of that works, but basically it will allow people to increase your mining power. The boosts will help you do that. So that's all part of the ecosystem as well. So basically, I mean, it helps you to mine at higher mining levels than what your actual miner can do. Right now it's set for the Titans, but we may, I'll let you know this probably next Tuesday, how that will work for the other miners. We're working on some features for those as well. The leasing is done. It's ready to go. I've put it on hold for a couple of weeks because I want to make sure that all the training videos are up, that the onboarding process has been streamlined. That's a huge feature for this project, and so we want to make sure that it everything that a person needs to get started when they come to the site to lease is fully explained. I don't want to launch that feature without being fully ready for it. I really think that it's a little premature. So we'll put that on hold. While it's ready, we could turn it on right now. I really just want to give it a couple of weeks. I would really like to have everything in place because, like I said, I don't want people to feel like they don't understand what this project is about, how to use the pieces. And if somebody does come and they're not clear, they'll be able to go through everything that's on the website, get the answers that they need. That'll make it a lot easier for them. We are working on a very big feature for this project that could engage millions of users. I really want to go over a lot of that. We're going to save that for a call specifically, and we'll be bringing that to you guys here in a couple of weeks. It's a very big piece. It's going to be, it's a little mind blowing, I think, when you guys hear what it is. I think everybody will absolutely love it. Our core team already knows about it because they've been in communications and ideas, and you have to kind of float things around. So there's so many things that are taking place right now. We're wrapping up the application with its main roadmap features. So once we have the leasing in place, the boosts, that part of the gamification, for for the most part, we've completed our entire roadmap, of which had been set for 4 years. So that is an amazing milestone for us, for working on this project for the last 4 years. But we are in no way even close to being done because we have a future roadmap that we haven't shared yet with the community. We wanted to get roadmap 1 done first. So there's a lot that's still coming to MoveQuest, but the fulfillment of our first roadmap, aside from the challenges, that's the last part of our roadmap that would not have been completed. So I am looking forward to celebrating that myself. It's been a long, long 4 years. August will mark the 4th year that the planning got started, and then the development started at the end of December 4 years ago. I don't know if you guys are paying attention. I love it that you had the exchange up, you know, where people could see Dex tools or Dex screen or whichever one you were using. You know, a lot of people always say, well, what is it going to take to get the market value to go up? You guys, I shake my head and laugh sometimes, because I'll tell you what it doesn't take, and that is selling the token without a demand for the token. So if you don't have a demand for the token and you're selling, you're going to see it goes shoo. However, if you have a demand for the token and you see the community growing, that's when you see the market value go up. That's when you see the algorithm for the ecosystem actually kick in and work with the community. The algorithm does not work with sellers. Okay. All it does is just pad the liquidity. But if there's a demand for that token, it kicks that algorithm into high gear because it wants to buy MoveQuest as well. You guys have to understand, the project can't sell MoveQuest. It's not written into the project's light paper. It's not written into the smart contracts. The only thing that the ecosystem can do is buy MoveQuest and pair it to the USDT. And it's already bought a bunch. I mean, it's bought almost 400,000 MoveQuest tokens, but that's great for future liquidity, because as the market value goes up, it takes less MoveQuest to be paired to that USDT. And so it's sitting on millions and millions and millions of dollars of MoveQuest that the ecosystem has already purchased that it cannot sell. It will never be sold. It has to go in as liquidity first, which means somebody has to buy it before it can be sold again. So the more MoveQuest that the ecosystem can buy, the longer it stays out of circulation. So when there is a balance, buyers and sellers, the ecosystem will buy, and it will help, you know, keep that market value up and keep it stable at that market value price that the buyers are taking it to. So I love watching, you know, how the charts are moving, because when you see green, you know the ecosystem is going to buy as well. But when all you see is red, the ecosystem is not going to buy. It will not raise the market value of the token up for sellers. It won't do it. It's not written into the algorithm. It's not designed to do that. If that's all that is, you know, happening is sell, 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 the only thing the ecosystem will do is pad the liquidity to maintain whatever market value the sellers are taking it to. So when you see it go green, that is a green light for the ecosystem, because now it can kick into full gear. It can buy, it can pair, it adds liquidity, it does all of that stuff because it maintains, you know, the higher market value, or it'll do a market correction, it'll take it back up, you know, to correct the sellers. So you guys should give yourself a pat on the back, you should clap your hands, because the buyers are, the demand is higher than what the sellers have been doing to the token. The market value of the token going down is completely due to sellers and irresponsible selling. You guys are miners. You don't sell it before there's a demand. So when people are overselling it, it drives the market value down. The one thing that you guys all have to understand about this project is it is completely 1000% community driven. There's not me behind the scenes managing something. It's all written in to the algorithm in the ecosystem. And you got to think about it. If a demand isn't there for the token and you have people selling it, would you really want the ecosystem to drive the market value up for the sellers? No, you wouldn't. I mean, I can answer that for you. None of you guys would want that, because those of you who are holding the token, you want to see the market value go up. And so when you see the demand for the token and you see that the community is growing, and then you start to see the ecosystem kick in, and it starts to preserve that higher market value, and it starts to buy, and it's adding the liquidity, and it's doing all the things it's meant to do, that's a good thing. That means that the ecosystem is evolving. That means that the community is evolving. That means that we're growing. That means that there's more engagement in the ecosystem every single day. submitting. So those of you who said, well, I wasn't going to submit because the market value of the token was down, think of all that MoveQuest you left on the table as the market value of the MoveQuest goes up, because it will hit that $100 mark again. It will go above $100. It will go over 1,000, over 2,000, over 3,000. It's just written into the way the system works. And I had a conversation with somebody today, and the beautiful thing about this is the project can't go bankrupt. The project can't fail. The only way this project stops is if every single person in the community just stopped using it. That's the only way that this would ever end. And even then, it wouldn't end, because another user could come in and pick up, and the community could grow again, and it would just pick right up again. It's completely on chain. It's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. So all of that MoveQuest, because a lot of people say, well, I'm not going to submit today because it costs me, let's say it costs you $3, and you only made, because of your physical activity, you only made $3. So it wasn't worth it to you in your mind to submit. But now it's at $10. And then when it's at $100, those little bits of MoveQuest that you paid, that submission fee to submit that proof of physical activity to the blockchain, that would have given you MoveQuest that would have had a much higher market value down the road if you had held on to it and you had submitted and you had claimed that. The other thing is the hatchery, you guys. That's a huge boost. I don't know, those of you who are not in the hatchery, you want to talk to people who are. Those of you who are on this call and you're in the hatchery, 100% that is really boosting what you're mining every day when it comes to the MoveQuest. So that hatchery is absolutely to me, is the best feature of the entire project, because it removes MoveQuest from circulation. It can't go back into circulation for 222 days, and you get to earn that additional MoveQuest token. As soon as you submit, you're getting those hatchery rewards as well. So it's rewarding you for participating within the ecosystem. Again, it's that checks and balance and everything that makes this project so unique and definitely successful. You can't find another move to earn project that has a market value of their token at, what was our low, $5 and something here a few weeks ago. And even at the $10 mark, there's not one that exists. It's not there because it's not been written properly. It's not been designed properly. It's not completely decentralized, and it doesn't have a self-funding ecosystem. You won't find a move to earn project that's ever hit $125 market value on their token like we did. Really organically, it was $110, but it did shoot up to the 125 for just a few minutes, but it didn't have the backing to be that high. That was kind of an oops FOMO buy that somebody had done. And I even enjoyed watching that happen. So I watch these markets, you guys. I can tell you right to the 10th of a, 18 decimal points back, I can tell you exactly how much MoveQuest is in circulation. I can tell you where that MoveQuest is. I can tell you how many wallets are holding what. You can all go and get the same information that I get. I just happen to track it every single day. So I get to see what's happening. And I love watching it happen. It's very stable. And it's growing like it should grow. I'm not disappointed at all. I'm extremely excited. Our sellers, you guys, they did us all a huge favor. It allowed us to become more stable in the liquidity pool. And as we move, the market value moves up, it's creating a much more stable liquidity pool economy. It's actually a beautiful thing. Now, sorry for the sellers. That's kind of bad. That is, they'll kick themselves later. They will have wished that they had held on to those. I'm telling you guys, you don't want to sell your MoveQuest. It isn't worth it for $10 or $20. But if you do sell it, that's okay too. I just seen a question pop up. So you guys have got to understand the difference between a wallet and a contract address. So what you see that has the 350,000 and something MoveQuest tokens in it is the miners pool. That is where those tokens are airdropped into a smart contract, and those 2,500 a day that you're mining, that is the smart contract that is holding those, and that is the additional 100 and, I don't know, 18 days or so left of the first 1 year mining pool. So that's what you'll see there. Now, when you go to I would say if you go to Snow, I think it's Snow Scan, it will have a little icon there that will tell you this is a contract address. And if you're using Snow Trace, it won't tell you that. But if you click on that, transaction there, it'll take you and it'll show you that that is a contract, and you'll be able to see that that's a smart contract that's holding those MoveQuest tokens. So that is not a wallet. I think our highest wallet holder has purchased almost 20,000 MoveQuest tokens. Those are all in the Hatchery, and that's a long-term holder. It's not me. I am the creator of the project, and I don't even hold the most tokens. In fact, I'm not even the second person who holds the most tokens. We've got a really loyal community that truly believes in this project. And I'm not saying that I don't believe in the project. I'm just saying that they had more money than I did to spend on the MoveQuest tokens because I spend it on the actual project, right, to create the project. So, and I wasn't allocated any tokens as the creator of this project. So I have to mine them and I have to buy them just like all of you do. So I am not even the highest MoveQuest holder, but the highest wallet does have over 20,000. I think it's 22,000 MoveQuest tokens, and those are all in the Hatchery, and they'll roll over into the Golden Hatchery too. So they're not sellers of those tokens. They have a much longer goal with that token. So nobody has 350,000 tokens, just so you know. In fact, we don't even have 350,000 tokens in circulation. I will tell you exactly in the wallets right now, there's 299,495 tokens that are in circulation. And the liquidity goes in on a regular basis. So let me tell you what is not in there so far. It's a lot because it has to be paired to the USDT. In total, if you look at today's market value, which the ecosystem is purchased at much higher, but if you look at it at today's market value, there's $3.7 million worth of liquidity that will be paired to USDT. So the ecosystem is sitting on $3.7 million of liquidity in the form of MoveQuest. As the USDT or as the AVAX comes in, it will pair to that almost $4 million. So we have half of that. So right now, let's just say, people revolving through the submissions, your claims, the mining, well, not the mining doc, because that's, oh yeah, the mining doc now, because that ninth slot is $240 to unlock that. Those are premium slots. So every time, like the next slot 10 will be 480. And then the 10th or the 11th slot will be, what is that, 960. So they'll keep doubling all the way up. And so the higher the slot, the more it is going to cost. Now, so everybody understands on the mining dock, the ecosystem, and we just wrote this into the algorithm, it's looking, if you're selling your MoveQuest, right, to open up the ninth slot, and it'll balance it out. So what it will do then is it will revert and it'll stop taking AVAX and it will start taking MoveQuest for that ninth slot. So that slot can change from AVAX to MoveQuest. So when you go to open up that ninth slot, make sure you look and see, is it taking AVAX or is it going to take MoveQuest? Because a lot of it depends on what the community is doing. That ninth slot was meant to be paired to the existing MoveQuest. Now, if all of our, if everybody here unlocked that ninth dock slot, it would add almost $2 million to the liquidity pool. So it would bring in about $1 million in AVAX that would be paired to $1 million worth of MoveQuest that's already here. And that would add another $2 million to the liquidity pool. Now, as that happens and more of those ninth slots unlock, the algorithm will increase the amount of MoveQuests that you're mining on a daily basis. So I don't know exactly what it will be, but it would be between 3,000 and 3,500. So as more people begin to unlock that ninth dock slot, you'll start to see the MoveQuest increase that would be mined on a daily basis. So that ninth mining dock slot is pretty important to the ecosystem. On April 20th, now we were going to do this on my calendar, March 31st. the hatchery was no longer going to return your MoveQuest back to you. It's going to become just an onboarding tool. People will purchase their miners using the hatchery. So let's say, I don't know what it takes right now because I don't have that page open, but for example, let's say you wanted the 16 Vanguards. Let's say it takes, I'm just going to throw a number out there. Let's say it takes, 500 MoveQuest tokens, and then $540 in the AVAX. You would get all those MoveQuests back at the end of 222 days. But starting April 20th, you won't get those MoveQuest tokens back. You'll earn on them still, just like everybody is right now. But in 222 days, you'll only get what you have earned in the hatchery back. You won't get that MoveQuest back. Now, that's going to drastically create scarcity within the project for those tokens, right? Because those won't get returned. You'll get the earned MoveQuest returned, but it'll be the only way that people will onboard. It wouldn't make sense to onboard any other way because you still get those rewards, those additional rewards when you submit every day. Now, when that happens, it won't cost the additional 540 in AVAX. It's going to be a 50-50 split. So it's going to take 50% MoveQuest and it's going to take 50% AVAX. Why? Because that's going to be 100% liquidity. The hatchery becomes a liquidity push big time, where all of the other features that are in the project, those are more, buy the MoveQuest, pair it to the USDT from the evolution, submissions. Some days the submissions it's always converted to USDT, but we'll buy MoveQuest. Sometimes it will just add the USDT to the MoveQuest as liquidity. All depends on what's been trending within the community, what's taking place. It changes every single day. But that hatchery becomes that major liquidity push. And you want that because you're getting these rewards. And in 222 days, you're going to want to be able to claim those rewards and you're going to want to be able to sell them if you want to, or go into the golden hatchery. And so that hatchery becomes a major liquidity push. So it's going to change the dynamic and pricing on that. On April 20th, it'll be a 50-50. 50% MoveQuest, 50% AVAX. That's 100% liquidity right there. So the hatchery is a big deal. That means everybody who comes in through or comes into the community, gets started mining, they're using the hatchery. One, they don't get the MoveQuest back. And the project can't use it either. Okay, it has to sit there for 222 days. So the project will take that the AVAX, convert it to USDT, pair it to the existing MoveQuest, add it to the liquidity pool. But then it's got a backup of that MoveQuest that's sitting inside the hatchery. This also becomes a future tool to make sure that there's always MoveQuest for the hatchery, because we can't just take tokens. It has tokenomics that has to be adhered to. So at some point, when all 7,200 MoveQuests are being mined on a daily basis, MoveQuest has to come from somewhere for that hatchery. So the hatchery is collecting it. So hopefully you guys understand where those dynamics are coming from with that hatchery, but it's a major, major piece for the ecosystem. Very positive piece. It provides a lot of liquidity and stability. So everybody who's onboarding that way, it's just pumping that liquidity into the liquidity pool. So you're going to really see that start beefing up on the 20th of April. I think that's all I got for updates tonight.
Wow. All right. All right. I have a request, Miss Orton.
Yes.
At some point, I'm not going to try to pin you down to a day and time, but at some point in the near future, would you be willing to, either on one of these update calls or a separate call, go over snow trace and snow
Oh yeah.
scan for the community, where we go through all the smart contracts,
Yep.
the daily, the what it looks like when people evolve, when they submit, when they claim, how to go in and see the days that they submitted, if it's zeroed out in the app, where you can actually go to the blockchain and see that, where the hash actually shows up, showing
Yep.
your steps, distance, calories, workouts, and sleep, so that we can actually capture that and
Yes.
have it recorded so people not only now but in the future will be able to get that information as well.
Yep. I
So
will. Absolutely.
that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect. Let's see here. I didn't
I
personally have
noticed
any.
Dustin just asked about the Golden Hatchery. So no, the Golden Hatchery is not for new people coming in. The Golden Hatchery is only for those who've come through Tier 4. So in order to get access to the Golden Hatchery, you have to have started in the Tier 4. Now, what makes the Golden Hatchery a big deal is this. For those of you who are in the Tier 4 hatchery right now, you're getting all of that MoveQuest back right now. Okay, starting April 20th, you don't. You're going to be able to roll all of that into the Golden Hatchery at no cost. Nothing, zero. Okay, except for the blockchain fee. There's no in-app fee. There is no nothing. You literally can just roll it into the Golden Hatchery. And you'll earn on that, again, the 0.001846. You won't get minors or anything like that. That's kind of like the top tier hatchery, but you have to come through the Tier 4 first. Now, on April 20th, when people come in through the hatchery, they won't get all of the MoveQuest they spent for the minors. They'll only get what they earn on what they spent for the minors. So then you'll be able to go into the Tier 4, or I mean the Golden Hatchery, but you're only going to have your earnings that are going to be able to go into the Golden Hatchery. It has to go from the Tier 4 straight into the Golden Hatchery. If you don't, you have to start over again. You have to go back through the Tier 4 in order to get into the Golden Hatchery. Like, you will have two choices: claim it to your wallet or send it to the Golden Hatchery. If you don't send it to the Golden Hatchery, you claim it to your wallet, you're locked out of the Golden Hatchery. So it literally is a rollover, and you can choose how much of it you want to roll. Okay, so let's say you have 1,000 MoveQuest tokens in Tier 4. If you only want 500 to go into Golden Hatchery, then you can just send 500 into the Golden Hatchery. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to open it up and let you add more. I just haven't got that worked out yet in the details. So right now, that's as far as what the Golden Hatchery will allow you to do. As soon as I can figure out how to do that checks and balance and make sure that we don't see, the other thing you don't want to do is make the tokens so scarce, because then you have an inflated market value and the liquidity could never catch up to it. So I have to make sure, and I test this stuff and make sure my numbers are all right, that we only allow so much of it uh, out of circulation. You can't create too much scarcity because you don't want inflated, overly inflated market value of a token. You want to, we really try to stay within a 25-75% ratio with a liquidity pool. And I think right now we're at 24.18%. So we got about, just under 1% that we can work with. So we're like, 25% away from being fluid. Try to stay within those, not saying that we always will be able to, but in the early stages, to make sure that the tokens liquidity pool creates a lot of stability as we're building into those higher market values is kind of important right now. So we don't want to we want to make sure we're not making the token too scarce. Right now we have 47% of the MoveQuest staked in the hatchery. That's almost half of it. That's amazing. I haven't updated it today because I had so many things going on, but as of yesterday, there was 264,216 MoveQuest tokens in the hatchery. That's a big deal. There's 299,495 that are currently in circulation. Now, if we didn't have that hatchery, there'd be almost 600,000 MoveQuest tokens in circulation currently. So that hatchery is huge. You're able to earn more MoveQuest. Plus, it is, pulling out of circulation. I don't know about the 222 days on the Golden Hatchery. Again, that's all part of the process I'm testing out right now. A lot of it, I'm watching the trends right now. I'm looking at what the algorithm and what the data is that's coming back from what's taking place within the community and stuff. That's going to play a huge role. I don't think the Golden Hatchery is going to be that long. I don't think we can afford to let it be that long. Just simply because I think the demand will be there for that token, and we want to make sure that we can meet that demand. And so we want people to be able to sell them at the price they want to sell them at. What we might do is add a cancel feature to the Golden Hatchery At that point, you've already given your support to the community, to the project, as far as creating that scarcity through that tier 4 hatchery. The golden hatchery is just kind of a benefit to you and to the project for as long as you want to keep it there. So we may add in a cancel button to that golden hatchery where you can maybe remove a percentage of it or something like that. We're working on that one. We got to make sure that golden hatchery complements the project. It doesn't remove, like I said, doesn't remove too much of those tokens. So everything I do with this project has to work mathematically. It has to mathematically have a purpose. So everything in life is math and science. I swear to God, it really is. And that's what this project is based on, is total math. And I love this question. What will we do to get the price back up? Well, the price is going up. How do you get that price to go up? You create a demand for the token. How do you create a demand for the token? You share it with people. You explain to them how this project works. They're already doing the activity every day already. Why not make money doing it? Right? This is the best project out there. How do you get the market value to go down? Oversell it. Sell it when there isn't a demand. I mean, for every action, there's a reaction. Okay, if the action is the community is growing, what's the reaction? The market value goes up. If the action is to sell it before the demand is there, what's the reaction? The market value is going to go down. It's not rocket science, guys. It's pretty common sense. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just being really honest with you guys. Well, all the Android devices are approved right now. The problem is, people who are manually adding in their data. That will be stopped here very shortly. So if people are adding in their data manually, it just won't be counted. You won't be able to submit. It'll block your submission. And we're almost there. We're pretty close to breaking the code on that. So, if you don't want to have your submissions blocked, I would suggest you get a fitness tracker and use it. It's worth the money to spend it. They're cheap. They're not that expensive. I mean, I know the Apple Watches are a bit pricey, but they're great. And of course, I'm an Apple addict. I only use Apple products. But I mean, we will stop the manual submissions. And it doesn't matter to me if the community likes it or not. And I'm not saying that again to be rude. It's just the bare bone facts. This project is based on your proof of physical activity. And if you're just using your finger to punch in on a keyboard, I did 20,000 steps. I have 2,000 calories that I burned. I walked 10 miles. I did a 2-hour workout and I slept for 8 hours. I mean, you might get away with that right now, but that's coming to a real fast end. And I'm not going to feel sorry if it blocks your submission. Don't manually submit your activity. If you want to get your workouts counted, go get yourself a fitness tracker, turn on your workout. I mean, it's plain and simple. This market value of this token is going to go up. I don't care. I had somebody tell me a few weeks ago, well, I've spent so much money on Titans, and what do you care if I'm, manually entering my physical data? Oh, I don't care what he does. That matters not to me. What matters to me is everybody else out there who's actually doing the hard work, who's actually putting in that proof of physical activity, who's actually doing it the right way. The people who are trying to gain on the system, they're taking MoveQuest away from those of you who are not. Those are the people I care about. I don't care about the people who are cheating the system. They don't matter to me. What matters to me is that I stop them from being able to do that. I break the mold on that. I care about the people who are doing it the right way, who would be mining more MoveQuest tokens if it weren't for those who are doing it the wrong way. So I have no sympathy for people who are doing it that way. I don't care if they don't like it that we're putting an end to it. It doesn't matter to me. If you don't like it, go to one other project and, mine for a nickel. A token over there that's worth a nickel or even less than a nickel. But this token here that can go up even higher than what Bitcoin's market value is, I do care about that. I want this to be a legitimate project. And not only that, but if you look at your different health companies, insurance companies, they don't actually get your data because we don't store it, but we are working on a way for you to be able to share it with them. They want accurate data. It would be your choice if you shared it with them. And then they would be able to give discounts on medical insurance and these different things that cost people a lot of money, or they could offer you perks or different things like that. And again, it's decentralized, so you would have to decide whether you want to share that information with these companies or not. It's not something we do because we don't hold it. So I do care about the legitimacy of this project. I do care that it's done right. I've put 4 years of my time into this to make it the best project on the planet in the crypto space. Our developers have worked hard, our core team, our designers, everybody has worked so hard, even you as a community, those of you who are doing the hard work for that proof of physical activity. You really want to get less tokens because somebody wants to manually add in that data. So that is coming to an end. And then if it comes down to what Androids are going to be approved, then we would give you a list of what those would be. The best way to solve that problem, though, is for people to use a fitness tracker. If you want your workouts counted, don't manually add in that data. And if you are right now, it is slipping through. However, our system is starting to collect that data so we can see how it's being used, where it's coming from, what devices. We don't know who you are. We just know what types of devices it's coming through, what applications it's coming in on. So we can start knocking those out, and we can start making it more difficult for a person to cheat the system. And I'm sorry, guys, if you guys don't like it, but I think it's fair. A lot of people laugh at me. What do you care? I do care because there's people that are doing it the right way that would be getting more MoveQuest if it weren't for those who are cheating the system. So I care very much. And you all know me. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. I don't even know how to sugarcoat something. I just got to tell you how it is. Why waste your time, right? Give it to you the way it is. Give it to you straight.
All right. All right. Well, Miss Lynette, we definitely want to thank you for taking time out of your busy evening. We know you just got back into town, getting acclimated to moving from the sand to the snow, or what have you. So we definitely
Oh God, and it's
appreciate.
still snowing here. I'm telling you, we have to extend our trip a couple more weeks. Were there any other questions in the chat, or do people have questions? I mean, I've got time. I've got
Okay.
another 10, 15 minutes if people have questions.
Okay.
I over explained the Android thing, but I think it's really important that people understand where we're going with that because I'm not changing my stand on that even a little bit.
I got you. I got you. And I know one of the things that you mentioned, I've seen several messages come through the chats in reference to the boosts or what have you. If you can talk about some of that now, great. If not, I know when the boosts are available, we will do a comprehensive breakdown on what that actually is for each and every one of them. But one question was specific with the boosts, will they be per miner or for all miners inclusive? So if you had
Well,
nine
miners,
miners, would it be
you're basically boosting your mining dock, not so much the miner.
okay?
If I understand correctly, how they're developing that part. The one thing that we are doing, so for example, and I'm going to use the Titans as an example right now because we're still working on the algorithm for the other miners, exactly how that would work. Those will begin to increase our mining power based on different actions, right? Increased activity, daily submissions, continued. Like, let's say you push yourself and you do more physical activity this month than you did last month or whatever. Your Titans will begin to increase their mining power and they can go up above 1,000% mining power. Now, if you start missing submissions or if you start slowing down your physical activity, they'll also start to decrease back down to that 400%. So that's where those boosts can help. You know, if you want to boost up that power and kind of keep it up. The boosts, you can buy them like one-time use. You can buy them for a week. You can buy them for a month. We'll have to break it down for everybody so you understand it. Basically, those all take MoveQuest. So they don't take AVAX or USDT. It's all MoveQuest token. Um, but we're going over a lot of this tomorrow morning in my meeting that I have with the devs. So I'll have more information on that in a couple of days. I am not a big gaming kind of person. Like I might play Candy Crush now and then, but I'm not one that got up and, played Fortnite and all these different games like a lot of people have. So I'm not the one who's creating the boost feature for this project. Everything else has come from me. The boosts, yes, we have to have the boost, the increased mining power. Yes, I am the one who come up with that for the project, but I'm not the one who's creating the details and how it's going to work and how it, plays into um, the real life game of MoveQuest. So I'm going to be learning a lot about how it's going to work tomorrow myself from Waleed specifically.
Gotcha. Let me see. I'm looking over here. I had a few more.
We are going to have more phantom type miners, though. I can't wait to tell everybody about that. That's a big deal. We've got, you guys, we have a monster piece coming. Like literally, I think it's going to light this on fire. Herschel, you know what it is. What do you think?
I believe it has strong potential.
Barry, doesn't it? Yes.
It it has potential. It has some very very strong potential.
We will be the #1 crypto project in the world. Bank on it. And all you guys know I don't ever say nothing unless I'm gonna make it happen. You're gonna make it happen. It's gonna happen. I don't quit till I get what I want. That's what I want. So you'll see.
Got a couple quick questions here. You may be able to rapid fire on these. You mentioned early in the conversation about me having met most of the things in the initial or the original roadmap. Is
Mhm.
the original roadmap in the initial Get Fit Mining white paper, light paper, anywhere? Was that ever published?
I'll have to look and see, and that's not even posted anymore. But what I will do is remind me, Herschel, because you know me, I'll get sidetracked. I'll
Okay,
get you a copy of that roadmap. It's in
okay,
PDF, and I'll send it to you. We can get it up on the website or somewhere so
perfect,
people can see what that is. Yeah, I think it's
perfect,
important for people to see everything that we've
perfect.
completed from day one on. Yeah.
And I think you touched on this a few minutes ago, but just so everybody can be clear and on the same page, as far as listing on CoinMarketCap, you have already submitted everything.
Yes.
We're getting ready. Okay, so we have submitted, and that process typically takes roughly week, two.
This really should only take a week or two. I really can't see it being longer than that. I've had some people tell me, oh, they're really slow. It'll take a lot longer, but I don't think so. I've been in communication with them, so I think it's ready to go. I don't think it'll take long.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
And then that will get us, I mean, then CoinGecko will grab onto it. I mean, all these, crypto.com, a lot of these different platforms and things, they'll start picking it up and we'll start getting ranked and we will be in the #1 spot. We may not have the liquidity that these projects have, but when
Right.
it comes to our FDV compared to theirs, we're #1. We're the closest to being fluid than any of these projects. Our market value of our token, you know, um, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty amazing to see where we rank on all of this stuff over the next couple of months.
Speaking of liquidity, with the momentum over the last 5 or 6 days specifically, do you know off the top of your head where we are percentage wise on being fluid?
Yeah, I didn't look at anything today, but as of yesterday, now you have to understand as the market value goes up, we get further away from being
Right,
fluid, right?
right,
The lower the market value goes, the closer to fluid we get. So the goal for the project is to try to maintain, 25 to 25% to 75% fluid, 25% away from being
right.
fluid
Okay,
or an 80/20, somewhere in there. So we are currently 24% away from being fluid and we are 74.28% fluid. So
gotcha.
we're not bad. Now
Okay,
we're under $1 million of being completely fluid. We're 782,000. Let me put my reading glasses on. I can't see the numbers. $782,082 away from being 100% fluid. That's nothing. That's a
gotcha.
drop in the bucket.
Gotcha. And then this is a question for clarity, which is a good one for everyone. As far as the golden hatchery is concerned,
Mhm.
I know that there's a certain number of MQT tokens that's currently available for distribution for those rewards. When the golden hatchery comes, or even the new hatchery for onboarding, is there a mechanism in place to keep that particular piece going, or does it have an end date at some point where there's no more tokens?
No, it doesn't have an end date. So here's what happens because on April 20th, right, the MoveQuest doesn't get returned. That MoveQuest will just stay inside the hatchery
Uh,
unless it's needed for liquidity. It probably will not ever be needed for liquidity because the project has already bought a ton of MoveQuest.
gotcha.
So what will happen is that MoveQuest will stay in the hatchery. Right now, 2,500 a day, is is for the hatchery. And currently there's only 488 MoveQuests per day that are awarded through the hatchery. So we're not even meeting, we're not even close to the 2,500, but it will never run out of MoveQuest simply because the MoveQuest that is coming in will stay in the hatchery unless it's needed for liquidity. Right now, there's almost 400,000 MoveQuest tokens that the evolution that the ecosystem owns that has been purchased from the community. When the community is, every time you are submitting and claiming and docking your miners, that it's either adding liquidity or it's buying the MoveQuest token, and it's bought a ton of MoveQuest tokens. I mean, I think it's over 400,000 actually. In fact, to give you an idea, right now, to bring the pool fluid, it needs 75,404 MoveQuest tokens paired to $782,082 of USDT. The Evolution wallet is currently holding 76,154. So it doesn't even have to take from what it's put in the vault. It's already put back 400,000, a little under 400,000 into the vault. It doesn't even have to touch the vault because the Evolution wallet is currently holding 76,156 of those MoveQuest tokens. Now, that 400,000 MoveQuest tokens, I mean, as the market value of the token goes up, it requires less MoveQuest paired to that USDT. So where right now at today's current market value, it's at $3.7 million worth of tokens that have been returned to the vault that it's purchased. As that market value goes up, that's really closer to like $50 to $60 million in market value of MoveQuest token as it gets back up to that $100 mark. Okay, so it's got, I think it'd be almost 31, 32 million, something like that, worth of MoveQuest that's sitting there. So this is so healthy, literally. I mean, some of you may not, who don't understand completely what goes on behind the scenes with crypto. This project is so stable. It's not funny. It's very strong. To be consistent, you guys have to understand, what was it, 3 weeks ago? I think the liquidity had gotten down to like $954,000. But the liquidity, it has some reserve and it'll pump it in when it needs to, when the algorithm calls for it. But as the community starts to grow again, you see it starting to maintain again at that $1.5 million, which it's consistently stayed at for what, 7 months, 6 months, something like that. People are selling every day, anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000 worth of MoveQuest every single day. But the liquidity maintains at $1.5 million. Now, how's that possible? And people ask me, well, how does somebody, how do people, or how has the community sold $25 million worth of MoveQuest? Well, think about it. Add up, and on some days it's even higher than that. We've had days where it was $300,000, $400,000 worth of MoveQuest that was sold in a day. Okay. Now, how does it maintain it at $1.5 million? That's the ecosystem. That's that community engagement. That's every time you interact within that system, it's always adding in that liquidity. It's always adding. And so it maintains. So people are selling, but it's still maintaining. Now, if you go look at any other project, what do you see? You don't see it maintaining. You see it going down until it's just completely gone and the project is dead. So the ecosystem is what maintains it. It's not new money coming in. The new money doesn't even touch the pool. It drives up the market value because you have to buy the MoveQuest, but it doesn't have an effect on the liquidity as far as the stability of that liquidity. Because that MoveQuest can't be sold. It just sits. It goes back into the vault. It has no, I can't sell it. It doesn't pay out, developers. It doesn't pay out it's not even allowed to be used to pay out our development teams. I can't take and pay them weekly with MoveQuest. It can't be done. That's selling the MoveQuest. The project cannot sell the MoveQuest. Only the community can sell the MoveQuest. So anytime you see the market value go down, it's not the fault of the project. It's the community that is doing it. You guys literally control the market value of this token. And so as we start to grow and the market value goes up, it takes less MoveQuest. And right now, because the Evolution wallet itself is already holding more MoveQuest than what it needs to be completely fluid, that's a great sign. So, if it takes a month, that 782,000 is going to bring us more fluid, but in a month, the market value is going to be higher. So we still won't be fluid, but we'll always be hitting that buffer. So like if let's say we hit the $12 mark on the liquidity pool. Okay. And between now and then, that 782,000 is paired to that 75,000 MoveQuest token and added as liquidity. It's stable at, let's say, the $10.50 market, right? That means that almost everybody who sells between, $11 and $12, it wouldn't drop it below the 10 because it's got so much heavy liquidity padded in there. It took it stable at that level, that market value. As the market value of the token goes up, yeah, it's going to need more liquidity, to stabilize that next stage of the market value, which is great because it always goes in because the community is engaged. They're interacting with the ecosystem. And so that ecosystem is constantly, injecting that liquidity. When I say constantly, I don't mean it happens 100 times a day. Sometimes it only happens once or twice or 3 times a week. It just depends on what's trending at the time through the algorithm. It knows when it needs to be added. It knows when to pad it. It knows when a sell-off is coming. It knows when to correct. It has all of the details that it needs based on what happens on the market. It's very strong, you guys. This project is super strong. So hopefully, I know I always give really long answers, but it's strong, it's stable, it's doing very, very good. Right now, if everybody was to sell, the lowest the market value would go is $5.15. And then we wouldn't have anybody left to sell because everything would be in the hatchery, and that's not going to happen. So remember a few weeks ago, that price kept dropping down to like that $2 mark. I think we were at $2, 2.5 cents, $2.50 or something like that was the lowest, the floor price. The floor price right now is at 515. That's great. I mean, we've doubled the market value in, 2 to 3 weeks. You guys have been doing amazing. We got some amazing builders. We got some amazing networkers. Your testimonials are starting to show long-term projects take a long time to build, right? Your fly-by-night projects that are going to be dead in a couple of months, they grow very quickly. People, they just come to them in droves because they know you got to get in fast, you got to get out just as fast. That's not what this project is. This project will always be here. It's funny, I've had people call me up and say, well, it wasn't moving fast enough for me, and I went and did this, and that. They're already gone. I went and looked, you guys are still here. This is what I'm doing now. You guys, you're always here. Like, we're always going to be here. It's very solid.